Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beauty Meets Hustle, Positive Vibras.
Welcome to episode number 3.
All right, Britt. So I am going to ask you a few questions, and then you can ask me some questions as well.
Okay.
But I know you're from Lubbock, Texas, and you had mentioned that. Can you talk about the attitude towards speaking Spanish there? How did that affect you?
So, okay. Like Jasmine said, I am from Lubbock, and I feel like growing up, I do blame my mom a little bit just because Spanish was her first language. So, like I always tell her I wish she would have
Mm-hmm.
like taught us Spanish or whatever, because my grandma, her mom, that's all she talked was Spanish. And obviously like none of us, like me or like the grandkids, knew Spanish, so she never wanted to teach us. And I did ask her one day, I was like, hey, like why didn't you ever teach us Spanish? And I guess she was saying because like when she was in school, when she started, like Spanish was the only thing she knew, so she had to go into like one of those classes, that
Yeah.
teaches you English.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess like people would make fun of you, I guess, for like knowing Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So she said that's why she never wanted to teach us Spanish.
I've heard of that before.
Hmm.
And now, do you regret not I guess maybe like having your mom like, hey, teach me, or
Oh yeah, like even still to
even
this day,
still?
yeah. I mean, obviously moving here to San Antonio, um, really like opened my eyes. Like, oh my gosh, like this is like who I am, like this is like in me. Like I wish my mom like would have taught us. And obviously now, I mean, I can learn it, but I feel like it's a little bit harder. But I feel like moving here really did like teach me to like embrace like the Hispanic culture. Cause over there, I mean, it is a little different. Um, but yeah, I mean, moving here really taught me to
So it's kind of rough
love it.
for you.
Not for me,
Not for
just
you.
because I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
know Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was telling you stories about my mom telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you felt like, because I know I do, and I still do. Have you ever felt like you're not too Mexican, or you're not too, for
Oh,
not
girl, all the
knowing it?
time. Yeah. I know. Obviously, like people know that I'm Hispanic, and they'll like sometimes they'll like go somewhere and they'll like talk to me in Spanish, and I know like 50-50. Like I'm not gonna say I know Hispanic. Like I mean I know Spanish. Like pretty well, but like
Yeah.
I can like put two and two together, and I'm like, okay, I think this is what they're saying. But no, people have always looked at me and like like I said, talking Spanish, and then I'm like
What
talking
do you
English, and they're like, oh,
say?
you don't know Spanish. I'm like, oh, I don't. But I always feel like I wish I knew Spanish. And like
I
I'm trying. I'm honestly trying.
Well, at least that's good. I know, like watching novelas or listening to music, or
Dude,
even
yeah.
like having like Spanish speaking friends
Yeah.
around you kind of like helps out.
And that's what Robert said too. He was like, "You need to tell Jasmine that she should just talk to you in Spanish so that you'll learn." I'm like,
Girl, I'll show you
"Okay."
mine. I'll show you my way of speaking Spanish. I'll pocho and
No, but
everything.
that's what he says, because like that's how he knew. Like obviously
Yeah.
he knew like what people were saying, but when we moved here, like obviously a lot of people talk Spanish here, so now he's like
Well,
1000% fluent.
nowadays, yeah, because
Yeah,
back then it was really hard
yeah,
to find people. There was only a small population. Like, yeah, there's like here in San Antonio, yeah, there's like Mexican Americans, but most of them they don't talk Spanish,
yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
And I guess sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
Or it's like
but I guess
Tex-Mex or
with me,
something. Yeah,
yeah, and like well, with me it was pretty harsh growing up because well, I'm from Florida and over there it's like all English, you know? Yeah, you have your Cubans, your Dominicans and stuff like that,
yeah.
but it's more like we only spoke Spanish at home.
Yeah. But I feel like
And
even that too, like all Spanish is different. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, exactly. And like the way that I spoke Spanish was how how my parents would like talk to us at
Yeah.
home. So it's like slang and it wasn't the correct Spanish.
Yeah.
And then, well, I don't know, like from there, like we moved to the valley and girl, it was like cultural shock. Like I was like, what the
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, in Florida, it was like school was nothing but Spanish. They were pretty racist, let's just say that.
Yeah.
So it was pretty harsh. And then at home it was Spanish. And then moving to the valley, it's like you get there and everyone speaks Spanish. You go to
Yes.
school and everyone speaks Spanish, although the classes, like math, reading, and all that was like English.
Yeah.
But I was like confused because these kids, obviously, they were all Hispanic compared to where I was. It was like
Yeah.
nothing but like whites and blacks. Well, over here, it was like all Mexican. And when they would talk both English and Spanish. And I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, is that's not the right way to talk. Like I felt so out of place, you
Yeah.
know?
But like
And
growing up, like you knew Spanish too though,
I
right?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And then like moving there and just it was just so different because it's like I don't know, like and then I had this pet peeve when I was there. Like everyone they would call the teacher Miss. Oh yeah, Miss. This and that in English. Miss, Miss. Oh yes, sir. No, sir. Like I guess it was like manners, but it's like everyone, and I was just not used to it. Like I felt so different.
Yeah.
And then I guess it just like really messed up like my way of thinking, and now today that's how I speak.
Oh.
I mix everything up, or sometimes I'm like, oh, how do you say that? And then I say it in English or vice versa, you know?
Yeah.
And then moving to San Antonio, it was very different than the Valley.
Yeah.
Very different.
Well, like I'm saying, like moving from Lubbock to here,
Yeah.
like total culture shock. Like it's probably the same way like how you felt from Florida to
No,
McAllen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And mind you, in school, I've always been English. And the only thing was, I guess in the Valley was like some Spanish here and there.
Yeah.
But moving to San Antonio, I remember um my mom, I guess here they have the option if you want to be in English
Mm.
or in Spanish class.
Like for you
For
guys.
me,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
And my mom had put me in Spanish. And girl, I like the only Spanish I knew was at home. I did not know how to read. I didn't know how to write. And I remember my first day of school, I was just there and there was like a math problem in Spanish on the board. And everyone was just like writing, writing their answer down on paper. The teacher was talking in Spanish, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what does that say? What does that
Oh my gosh,
mean?
that's so
Like, and
crazy.
and she was calling out people to
Yeah.
go write the answer on the board, and I'm like,
You're like, can you just read it to
I'm
me?
like, I don't know. And I remember turning in my paper without an answer,
Oh my
and the
gosh.
teacher noticed, and she called my mom, and she got mad at my mom. She's like, how are you going to put her in Spanish class when she doesn't know how to read and write? And my mom's like,
Mm.
no, well, she knows Spanish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like, she's never taught me like to read or write. Like, I guess she
Yeah.
just figured I just knew, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
And so I had to take I had to take this test where if you know more Spanish, then you stay in Spanish class
Oh,
or
I see.
English. So obviously I passed the English one
Yeah.
and I remember switching classes, but I did have ESL.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, that's what my mom I think
yeah, I
did
had
too.
ESL, which worked out. I felt special.
But like now, like do your parents talk to you just in Spanish or like both
No,
English
they
and Spanish?
always just talk Spanish to me
Oh,
though. They
okay.
always, now my mom, she knows somewhat English, but mainly Spanish. That's why she's like, no, well, I put you in Spanish because you
Yeah.
talk in Spanish. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's different. So it's not like my little brother, like he started pre-K here, and that's when they had those programs. Like if you want to be in
Oh,
Spanish, or like
yeah.
they teach you from a little.
Mhm.
But I was already in third grade. Like I was.
Yeah.
But anyways, after that, I guess middle school, I didn't have ESL no more. It's just English. But I did have a friend that spoke nothing but Spanish. Like she was fluent.
Yeah.
She also like she took English too, but she was really fluent. So I started hanging out with her, and my Spanish started improving.
Yeah.
Like reading, writing, watching novelas, listening to music, like it all improved. And then high school comes. And girl, I had a Spanish class. And I don't know if you ever took it, but they make you like take a test to see how good your Spanish is.
No. I know, like, I think in Texas, like, it's mandatory that you have to take, like,
Yeah.
a
Like
foreign
a
language or
yeah.
something.
Did you ever
Yeah.
take Spanish?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
girl, I still didn't learn.
But I remember that, I mean, Spanish one was like the basics, and Spanish two was the
Yeah.
basics too. So they knew that I like I guess um from my exam or whatever, they moved me to Spanish speakers, which was a class, which is nothing but fluent people
Oh,
that speak Spanish,
yeah.
and you're just reading in Spanish. So I'm like, oh my God, back to square one, third grade. And I remember just being in the corner, isolated, and the only person I would talk to was the teacher. Like, I would be like, hey, what does this
Yeah.
mean? And she would look at me like, really? Like, you don't know?
Yeah.
And I remember we had to get in groups. And so the people that were next to me were the people that I grouped with. And I remember, like, this is why I don't know, this is why in high school I would just like keep to myself, because I know people were going to make fun of me, like how I spoke it.
Yeah.
Because one, my mom wasn't there, like, she wouldn't correct me.
Hmm.
Like if I said it wrong, she wouldn't be like, no, that's not how you say it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she'll be like, oh no, I understand what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
instead of be like, no, se dice así, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I remember I said mathematics wrong. I don't know. I don't know how I said it, but the guy was like, "Ha ha ha, that's not how you say it. Oh, you don't know proper Spanish and this and that." Like in Spanish, though, that made me feel so little, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "I'm never talking to these people again."
You're
So
like, I'm not gonna talk at all.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
And for those who know me, like I would only hang out with people that spoke English. I would only hang out with people that spoke English. My friend at that time, like we weren't really, I would say, friends. She had her own people, so
Mhm.
she went to the people that spoke Spanish,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
went to my people. And then from there, after high school, um, I met my husband, and he's like fluent,
Yeah.
like he knows English too, but he taught me how to speak.
Oh, like
So it
proper
really,
Spanish.
yeah, it
Yeah.
really improved. Until this day, he's like, "That's not how you say it. This is how you say it." I was like, oh, "Okay, well, thank you." I do get frustrated though. It's really
Yeah.
frustrating because I'm just like,
I'm like, girl, at least you
I
know
feel
Spanish.
so little. I feel so
Uh,
little because especially like when I try to talk to his parents, I'm just like
so his parents only talk Spanish?
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm. Well, his dad, he talks English too, but like the bare minimum. So,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, it's like,
And
am I
I
gonna
feel like
say this
even,
right?
yeah, I feel like even too, like, till this day, like my mom, when we're like with my tias or whatever, they like try to talk in Spanish because they knew when they were gonna talk like the chisme, they're gonna talk in
Oh,
Spanish because
yeah,
they
yeah,
knew
yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know. And now I'm like, I kind of understand what you're saying. Or I'm like, Robert, what are they saying? Because I know they're saying something like bad.
No, girl. Okay. Well, obviously we would understand like whenever
Mhm.
my tias and my mom would talk and they would be chismeando. Like I remember they would talk with like the F. I don't know if your mom has ever done that.
I don't
La F.
know. My mom's Spanish is super Tex-Mex.
Okay,
Like
well
real, real
this one
Tex-Mex.
I do not know how to speak it, but it's like they you start the word with an F and end it with an F.
Mm,
It's
I
weird.
don't know if I've
It's
ever heard that.
weird.
Yeah.
And nowadays my mom, like, she would be like when if my niece is there or that my kids are there, she would tell me something with the F, and I'm like, Mom, I do not know what you're trying to say. And she's like, ¿A poco no sabes? You don't know? And I'm like, no, because whenever it was time for y'all to be chismeando, why would y'all teach us that?
Oh,
That was the
yeah.
whole reason for us not to find out what y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
So you never taught me that. And she's like, I thought you knew. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that, yeah. So I'm assuming it's like kind of like the same, you know?
yeah.
So, but it
But I
was
feel like
really
now, like
harsh.
I said, moving here, I do embrace it more.
Oh
Like
yeah,
even like
for
with my
sure.
music, like that's all I listen to, even
Hmm.
though most of the time I don't know what they're saying, but I love it. And even like my kids too, that's all they listen to is like Spanish
Well,
music.
that's good.
Yeah.
Like, don't. don't shy away from it. Like I
Yeah.
like from your kids, like let them,
Yeah.
you know.
No, my youngest girl, he loves it. He like swears he knows Spanish. So he'll be talking to his friends. He's like, "Do you want to talk English or Spanish?"
Oh
And
my
I always tell my
gosh.
husband, like, you need to teach him because obviously I don't know it, but
Hmm.
yeah, but even in school, like now he takes Spanish.
Oh, that's good. That's
Hmm.
good. The little one, right?
Yeah.
The oldest doesn't really.
Well, so where they go to school, like the little one, they start from kinder to fifth, and then from sixth to like I guess when they graduate, they switch to Latin, which I wish
Oh,
they just kept it like Spanish the whole way through, just because really when are you gonna use Latin? And even too, he's like it's a
isn't
lot
it like this?
difficult than Spanish.
Oh, it's like more
Yeah.
proper, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like proper
Yeah,
Spanish
but even
over
too,
there.
like with my kids, like my little one, because obviously he was born here. We're always like, Blaine, where were you born? He's all San Antonio, and then my oldest was like, Blaine, no, I mean, he's like, no, it's San Antonio. We're like, no, but he's so funny. Like he has like the little
San
Mexican Hispanic,
Antonio.
I'm like accent. It's funny.
I guess also what has helped me is going to Mexico every summer.
Oh yeah,
That's why I'm saying like this whole thing, like it's mind fucking. Like one day you're coming from over here from like for example like Florida because we from Florida like every December Christmas break we would go or big summertime we would always go to Mexico and then we would come back.
oh yeah,
So it's like one day we're speaking nothing but English and then bam we're in Mexico nothing
yeah.
but Spanish and then we come back. So it's like
No,
and
yeah,
then
we
coming
love
to the
going to
valley
Mexico.
it's like oh my gosh that's not how you
Yeah,
talk. Like you're either talking in English or in Spanish. Pick your poison.
yeah,
So it kind of rubbed off on me. And then I did live with my cousins there for a few months. And then, yeah, that's when we moved over
yeah.
here. It was really hard. But I mean,
No, yeah, we love going to Mexico.
I'm
Like,
proud being Mexican though.
yeah, we love going to Mexico.
It's really fun.
Hmm. But the thing that does bother me though is like when people are like, "You're not scared to go to Mexico," and I'm like,
Oh my
"No."
gosh. And yeah, sorry, not sorry, but the ones that ask that are white people. Like from my
Yeah.
experience. They're like, you're not afraid. I've heard
No,
this and this and
I've heard
that.
some of my family tell me
It's a
that too.
third world country. Well, baby, it ain't no more. It ain't no more. I don't think it has ever been because I mean,
Yeah.
it's culture. Like, you have everything.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, the stuff that happens over there too, like, happens in America too, so it's the
exactly, it
same
happens
thing.
anywhere,
Hmm.
unless I mean, unless you have something to do with it. Then yeah,
Yeah.
be scared. It's
Yeah. Because even too, like I said, like usually like every summer we've been going to Mexico just to like vacation or whatever, and then like even one of the cab drivers, he's like, unless you come here to find trouble, like you're
you
gonna
are
find
gonna
trouble.
find trouble.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. That's the
But
only
all
thing.
the times we've been, like we've like honestly felt the safest there.
Yeah, unless you're like
Even going into town
traveling
too.
wrong place, wrong time. That
Yeah.
happens anywhere.
Hmm.
But I love Mexico.
Yeah,
It's
me too.
beautiful. Hmm.
Me too.
And now with this whole thing happening, my husband's like, "You wouldn't mind like moving to Mexico?" I was like, "No, I wouldn't. I would actually like it."
Yeah. No,
Like,
we've talked about like trying to do like the dual citizenship
yeah,
thingy,
yeah,
but
me
yeah,
too.
we need to look more into it just because we obviously have no family there.
Mm.
So I don't know. I feel like I don't know. My husband knows friends that they said they could help us get the dual citizenship.
You're my prima.
I know. I'm her long lost sister.
Yes. Oh my god, that's so funny. No, I do plan on getting it too, just because there's just a lot that my parents have over there, and
Oh yeah.
worst case scenario, if anything happens, like we got to make sure that we have that dual
Yeah.
citizenship in
Hmm.
case they want to pass something down, like on their will or whatever. Like
Yeah.
we already have it. But
But we still need to plan that trip,
yes,
the Mexico trip.
yes. Where are we going? All right, friend. Now switching topics. So let's see. Do you have anything you want to ask me?
Let's see. Um, I do have a question. Let me find
I
it.
mean, we don't have to switch topics yet, but in case you have a different question.
This, I mean, kind of. I don't know if it really goes into it, but I'll just ask you.
Okay.
Have you ever faced doubt from others for yourself? And how did you push through those moments?
In what way? Like,
Like I could tell you for mine, like I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna
ah,
ask and then I'm gonna answer.
I'm like,
Um,
because they're gonna be doubts like in hair, doubts in mom,
I
like
guess like since we're talking about like being Latina, like
doubts. Hmm, not that I can think of.
no,
I feel like I'm good. I'm good with what I am and what I have.
yeah,
You know, I feel like I'm good. What
yeah.
about you?
Um, well, like whenever I finished high school, I did do the whole like community college thing for like a year, and obviously that was not for
Oh,
me.
okay, yeah.
So I know like when I told my mom like I was gonna go to cosmetology school,
Oh my gosh. Okay, then
that
that's
was
something that
like,
we can talk about because
yeah,
now thinking about it, yeah. Go
that
ahead.
like I feel like that was like, what? Like you want to do
That is
hair?
exactly, yeah. Oh my
I remember
gosh.
my mom was so pissed.
Yeah, I remember right out of high school. Okay, now I'm answering the question. So I remember right out of high school, um, I really wanted to be a cosmetologist. Más bien a makeup artist and the one that does hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really like color, all that stuff. But I remember telling my mom, I'm like, oye, ma, yo quiero hacer pelo, yo quiero ir a la escuela, like I want to be a
Yeah.
cosmetologist. And she's like, what? No, 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 no. You're not gonna make enough money, and this and that. Like, and so that really like just, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want you to be something big. Quiero que seas alguien grande, que venga con la diploma
Hmm.
and all that stuff from the
Yeah.
university. Like, I want your name on the wall.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me feel like, I guess,
Yeah. And props to anyone, any like Latina or whatever that has a diploma, but
hmm
like you don't always have to have it to be
No,
successful.
no. If you bust your ass, then you'll be
Yeah.
successful. Um, but anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No. Yeah, that's just the thing that I was
Just to
saying. Like,
think,
yeah.
oh,
Like
okay.
I know when I told my mom that I was not gonna go to college anymore and I wanted to do hair, it was like the whole world turned like you're not gonna make no money, blah blah blah.
And honestly, like, I don't, well, once she said that, I was like, okay. I went onto the dental field. So I was like, okay, well, then I'll be an orthodontist. I'm like, but before anything, let me be an assistant just to make sure I
Yeah.
like it. So I went to school as for dental assisting at SAC, and I remember like I sucked at taking X-rays. I like
You're
I
like, I
would
don't
pay
even
it
know if your teeth are in there, but
like I would pay attention, but at the same time, like I'm a visual person,
hmm.
so if you're just talking to me,
Yeah.
it's just gonna go from
Yeah.
one ear
That
to the
I'm the
other
same
out.
way.
Like I'm more hands on,
Yeah. Hmm.
So I remember when I looked up how many years it was for orthodontist,
Hmm.
which orthodontist is like the braces.
Yeah.
Um, that shit was like 13 years, if not more,
Yeah.
depending. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just be a dentist. And luckily, when I was still in school, I went to UT Health Science Center, and I had to shadow the students that were going for dentists.
Oh,
Girl, that shit was boring. That I was falling asleep.
yeah.
Like I remember they had me suctioning. Like there, and then it was like they were just taking their sweet time. I'm just there, and it was like super early. I'm like,
All falling asleep.
and I remember, yeah, they kind of like moved the suction tip. They were
Oh,
moving it where they needed it. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay, where do you need it? And then from there, I just decided not to do that. I was like, you know what? I'll just do hygiene school. They make good money. You can be your own boss. Not exactly your own boss, but you can pick your own hours, like
Yeah.
when you want to work, etc. And so after I graduated dental system school, I did start working at one of these offices that I used to shadow for. Well, not shadow. I would be, how would you say it? When you do your hours, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Internship,
Yeah.
internship.
Yeah. Internship.
Yeah, I would be there. I was there for the whole summer, and they hired me. in the
Oh,
fall.
okay, yeah.
So I was working there. While I was working there, I was still going to school for hygiene,
Hmm.
like online,
Yeah.
or if I had to go like in person. And I remember out of those 3 years, I applied 3 times and I did not get accepted. And
To
to the
dental school?
yeah, for hygiene school.
Oh, okay,
So I
okay.
was like very bummed. And not only that, I remember being in Mexico where my husband's from in
Hmm.
Jalisco. And I remember getting a phone call that my grandpa had passed away.
Hmm.
And at the same time, I got an email saying that I wasn't accepted. So it
Mm.
was just like bam, bam.
Like
Like I
so
was
much,
just
yeah.
so, and I remember crying, and this is like gonna make me cry. And I
Mhm.
remember my husband's like, no, like it's okay. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
So from there, I just continued working at that dental office, and I got pregnant. It was planned.
Yeah.
So um,
What's your first one?
yeah, and so I started. I was working when I was like 7 months in, and then I just stopped because I had a big belly. I couldn't be like over people.
Yeah.
So then from there, my husband's like, okay, I guess he saw like how much I suffered, and he's like, you know what? Forget what your mom wants you to do.
Hmm.
This is you. She's not living your life. How about whenever the baby is 6 months, you can go to cosmetology school, just do your research. And I had already done my research because that
Yeah.
was something I wanted to do. And I remember when I told the people where I used to work, and I was like, hey, like I gave them the 2 week notice. And I was just like, they're like, are you going to come back? I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to school for
Yeah.
cosmetology. And I remember them telling me, especially the doctor, he was like, well, don't you think esthetician school is better? Don't you think you'll get more money? And I'm just like, sir,
You're like, well, with the
don't worry about
cosmetologist license,
me.
you learn everything.
I'm like, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no shade, no hate. It was a really good office. Like the people were great and everything, but the pay rate just sucked. And I'm like, oh, dude, like I could probably make more than what I made here
Yeah.
in cosmetology. And then after that, like after like the baby was like 6 months, that's when I went to Paul
Yeah.
Mitchell, and now we're here.
But yeah, that's the thing that you do have to go through the toughest moments to
No,
like,
yeah. And I don't regret it. I
yeah.
really don't. I feel like God has its plan. And I feel like he had me working there as an assistant because there I would make phone calls, answer phone calls. I would have to deal with parents, with kids,
Yeah.
with everyone. I would have to deal with hormones. I had to deal with the doctor's hormones.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like God put me in that position to grow thicker skin to get
Yeah.
me prepared for my next journey.
Hmm.
And I remember being in cosmetology school, and mind you, I was like the oldest. I was 25 then. All the girls were like straight out of high school,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you do that?" I'm like, "What do you mean? How do you know how to talk to people?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I guess because I've had a life before this."
Yeah. Hmm.
And you're just coming out straight out of high school, so I guess I don't know what to tell you,
Yeah.
just be yourself. Or if you have questions, like ask, like don't be
Yeah.
afraid to speak up. And yeah, so
And
I
it's never too late, guys, to go
no,
back to
never,
school with
never, never, never.
whatever dreams you want to chase. It's never too late.
And continue to take the classes. I know we had mentioned that, but that also helps too.
Yeah.
But now I'm here, I'm really grateful, I don't regret nothing. My husband's like, I blame your mom for keeping you from doing something that you didn't want to do. You would have been more successful. You would already be 5 years in.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years in if I would have started right away.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm like, I feel like I would have quit.
Hmm.
I would have quit if I went
Oh,
straight out of
yeah.
high school because I was very timid. I didn't know how to talk to people. I would probably cry.
Yeah. No, there is, like I said, I've been doing hair since like almost 12 years. And there's been times where I wanted to quit just because the environment or like I was just like burnt out from doing hair. But now I freaking love it. Like I honestly
I
do
love
love
it.
it.
I want to do everything.
Yeah.
Like I know I do several services, but I'm like I want to learn more.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
And that's the good thing about being like in the industry that we're in is that there's always like learning
Hmm.
like courses or you can learn
Yeah.
whatever else you want to learn.
Now, guys, if you are watching and you're stuck in a position where you don't like your job, it's not late to start over.
No, never too late. And
No.
I always hear people say that too, like, well, I feel like I'm too old. Girl, you're never too old. Like,
No.
go after your dreams, go after what you want to do.
No.
Don't listen to what people have to say, even if they doubt you. Do what you have to do for yourself.
And for example, like I was telling you this earlier, but I did have a client and she knows that we haven't been at the salon for
Yeah.
already like what, 3 months already?
Yeah.
Almost 3 months. And she asked me, she's like, "Hey, I know this is none of my business, but I'm really nosy. Are they paying you like for you being off?" And I'm like, "Girl, no, I'm my own boss."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I take care of myself. No one's paying me. Like I manage my own schedule and everything." She's like, "Oh," and mind you, this lady's probably like in her 40s, late 40s, around
Yeah.
there, and she's like, "Oh, I wish I can be my own boss one day." And I'm
Like,
like,
girl, you can.
"You can. You can."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's stopping you. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do something like a side hustle meanwhile you're working somewhere. And if it
Yeah.
gets big, then, you know?
And that's the thing is like sometimes it irks me whenever people are like, "Oh, you're your own boss, you can do whatever."
Oh, you're so
I
lucky.
can, but no, there's like stuff that comes with being your own boss. Stress, pay when you're not working, like all the other stuff. Like it's not as easy as everyone thinks that it is.
No, it's not.
No, at all.
Especially, for example, when like I have family. Sorry, if are watching, to each their own, but but ever since when we moved to San Antonio, my dad had a company. Like he made his company and he was him and my other uncles, they were together, and turned out at the end it was just my dad.
Mhm.
Well, everyone moved out and they would always say that I was the rich girl. Oh, you have daddy's money. And then now that I'm married and everything, I have a feeling that they probably still say that, like,
Mhm.
oh, she is where she's at because of daddy's money and this
Yeah.
and that. Because I remember when I was in dental school, um I had an uncle. I think he was the one that he keyed my car.
What?
Yeah, I remember.
Girl.
And I mean, I'm just like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know what uncle. I know, or it could have been like a worker that was working for my dad. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So because they're like, well, he bought it for her. It's
Mhm.
daddy's money, and it's like
Yeah.
he'll fix it for her. And now that I have all this, like my business, I have
Yeah.
a home and all this stuff, I'm like, they probably say that. And I'm like, just so you know, this is not daddy's money. This is hard working money. I busted
Yeah.
my ass for it.
No, we've kind of got the same way because I think I've told you Robert's dad passed away.
Yeah.
So I've heard like before that, oh, like I'm sure Robert's dad left him money. No, we didn't get 1 cent, but that's all it is. It's just hard work. Like it doesn't matter. Like so annoying.
No, until this day, let me just say, till this day, I have not asked my parents for a single penny. This is all me and my husband. And what's funny, if my family is watching this, I can give two shits, but I paid for my nose surgery. I didn't have to ask for my dad. And I have family members that had asked my dad money for their surgery to get their body done or this other shit. And I'm just like, how is it? Me, his daughter, I don't ask him. Like, I don't even feel comfortable to ask them
Yeah.
money, but these other people do. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess growing up and like kind of going towards that kind of topic. Yeah, I like basically I got pregnant at 19 and then had Brayden at 20. So kind of then like I literally have me and my husband have been on our own since then. Like
No, yeah.
we've never had
Mm-hmm.
like really we never really could ask our parents for money. And then even that, like, I don't even like talk to my dad at all. So that's like one that I really could not ask for nothing because he doesn't do shit. And then obviously Robert's parents, like his dad passed away, and then his mom's the same way as my dad. Like, there's never been a talk, like, and sometimes it kind of bothers me just because, like, I feel like there's some times where we could have need help, but like,
But they don't offer.
yeah, we
They don't
never
offer.
really could go to anyone. So we
Mm-hmm.
kind of just have to figure that shit out on our own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people that could come to us. They're like, oh, I need blah, blah, blah. And we're the type, like, we're going to help you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just like, man, like, what if it's the other way around?
They
Like,
wouldn't help you.
yeah,
Exactly. And that's what, I mean, I don't have my dad's money.
yeah,
And everyone thinks he's a bank. I mean, I'm like, no, I see. They don't see it.
yeah,
I see whenever he gets home how he's all like drained in sweat and everything. Like,
yeah,
they don't see that. And it really irks me.
yeah.
And there's been times that I see on like Facebook and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, let me just type something to kind of get on everyone's like under their skin and be like, because I never said anything. I don't say anything when
Yeah,
it comes to my parents. Like, I just keep quiet because my mom is always like, "Calladita te ves más bonita." Like, just stay quiet because if you
yeah,
say something, they're gonna hate you. They're gonna start talking about you. And I tell my mom, I can give two shits. They don't pay my bills. They don't live my life.
yeah,
I rarely see them.
yeah.
So when my mom's like, no, 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 you shouldn't be that way. And I'm just like, "Ugh, whatever. It is what it is. But I mean, ugh,
Yeah.
I lost track what we were talking about. But just saying. Now, changing topics. Do you have any pet peeves?
Oh, I have a lot. I'm like beauty industry
I feel
wise or
like,
like mom
I mean,
wise.
we can go down the list. Um,
Um,
Beauty wise, like being a hairstylist.
Beauty wise, I think me and you were talking about this before we
Mm-hmm.
started. Um, just like when people gatekeep stuff.
Oh yeah, girl. Oh
Yeah.
yes. Let me tell you. I mean, you can start saying, but
Yeah,
I'll
no,
wait.
just because like before, like I remember I used to work with like at the salon, and like a lot of people didn't really like to share stuff just because they didn't want you to like basically take their shine, or like, you know what I
Yes. Oh
mean?
my gosh, it's
Yeah.
so fucking annoying.
And that's another reason why too, like, I didn't want to do hair, is because people like that.
They're mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they think they're the shit. Like I remember asking people like right after cosmetology school, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just coming out. Is there any brands that you recommend that you like that I should try and
Yeah.
this and that?" One of them was like, "Go to YouTube." Okay. All right. Well, one, I used to admire you, so now I don't. So F
Yeah.
you. And other ones, they would like, yeah, they would tell me here and there, but like they didn't want to fully like tell me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to take your fucking clients.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna build my own. And I've had people that they go to that person and then they end up coming with me.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, well, just don't get mad at me. They're coming to me.
Yeah.
So, but that is a pet peeve, the gatekeeping part.
Yeah.
Like, overall, like, even family and stuff, like, it'd be like, oh, where'd you get that from? And
Hmm.
they'd be like, oh, from the store. I don't remember what it's called. I'm like, ugh, bitch, I know you know. I know you know.
But yeah, that's my pet peeve. Mom wise, I hate when my kids say I know. I'm like, no, because if you knew, then I wouldn't have to tell you. So now you don't know.
Oh my
That's like my pet peeve. I'm
gosh.
like, don't say you know because
Or when they say, why?
yeah.
Why? Why? Oh my gosh. Husband wise, pet peeves. I think the only pet peeve I would say is um sorry, Dan. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of pet peeves. I'm not trying
She's like,
to
which one do I
which
choose
one do I
from?
choose? Anyways, do you have any?
For
Well,
my
I
husband?
think
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I think the biggest pet peeve that I have is him
Oh
not helping
yes.
me
Okay.
clean. I'm like, bro, I'm not your maid. We're doing this together, so let's get to it. And
My
sometimes I'm petty. I'll leave the shit there
oh
just to see
yeah.
if he'll do
Yeah, yeah.
it.
No, my pet peeve, and you can probably relate, is whenever you're done cleaning the damn bathroom, the sink.
Yeah.
and they decide to fucking shave and leave their shavings there.
Oh yeah. Well, honestly, Robert doesn't do it. He'll wait
No?
until I cut his hair.
Oh
So I do it all.
no,
Yeah.
it's and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Don't you see? I just fucking finished cleaning the damn restroom, and you're over here shaving your fucking face, and it's like all over there, like, and they don't even fucking clean it,
Yeah.
and it just stays there.
He's like, oh, Jasmine will clean it.
I'm like, how is it so hard to freaking just rinse it out
Get
with
water and just
water? Yeah, like, and I don't know if you've seen, but there's like these little capes that you put around the neck, and then you put them on the mirror. Have you seen them
I
for guys
think
for
so.
shaving?
I think I've
I
seen
told
him.
him, I was like, I'm gonna get you one of those. I'm gonna get you one of those. He's like, why? I'm like, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
That is my pet peeve.
Yeah. I
Oh,
was gonna
and sorry, babe, but
say.
another pet peeve
It's going down the
is
list.
he leaves his shit under the bed, under like he'll be like, oh, have you seen? Oh, another thing, yeah. Okay, they're all coming together. They're all coming together. He leaves his shit under the freaking bed, and it's just like in bola, like there,
Oh
thrown
yeah.
in there. And then
Robert
he's
does that shit
asking,
too.
"Have you seen my?" I'm like, "Check under the bed."
Oh my gosh, now that you're saying
Yeah.
that,
Or
okay.
have you seen this? Have you seen that? I don't know, dude. You were the last one who had it. I don't touch your shit.
No, so now that she's saying that, oh my gosh. So my kids and my husband have this thing where every time they get home, they take their socks off and
And they
literally
throw it.
just throw them.
Yes.
So I fucking throw. Oh shit! I don't know. You might have to beat that out. I throw the stuff in the. I throw their socks in the trash because one, you can walk a couple steps, go put it in the washer, or go put it in a freaking laundry basket. So they're always like, "What happened to my socks?" I'm like, "Oh, they're in the trash because you don't know how to put them up."
Yeah, that's my husband.
I literally
That
throw them in the
was
trash.
like I had cleaned up the bedroom yesterday. I had picked everything up from the floor. He comes home, he's on the bed. The girls, they every time they come in, they like freaking throw their shoes everywhere. There's one here, one over there. I go to the room, there's like his socks, like one in the other corner, and over here, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that's a
It's
the
yeah.
sock thing. Oh,
I
I
mean,
would throw
whenever I
shit.
use my socks, well, whenever I like take off my socks, if they're clean, I roll them up and I put them like inside my shoe.
Yeah.
That's what I do for next time. Whenever it's their
Oh
dues, I like
yeah.
just take them out and put them on.
Yeah.
Now, if they're really dirty, then I'll just put them,
Dude, I hate
because I don't really wear shoes like,
where you need socks all the time.
well, like I just come and go. Like it's
Oh
just for
yeah.
a little bit, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah. No, I hate freaking matching the socks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's like a whole freaking like I hate
Oh,
it.
matching the girl socks is a
Yeah.
pain in the
Hmm.
ass because they have, well, now they're the same size, but back then it was like
Oh
the little
yeah.
one and this and that.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's annoying.
That's funny.
Do you mismatch? No, well, your kids are already grown. The clothes, like they don't wear like the same thing, like twins. Or yeah,
Sometimes I do,
sometimes. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Brayden always gets so annoyed. I'm like, but y'all are so cute. And they're all like freaking 6.5 years
Are they
apart.
twins? Are they twins?
Yeah, Brayden hates it. He's like, why do I always have to dress like him? I'm like, because you look cute.
I dress my girls the
But
same.
your girls are pretty close in age. The
And
boys are 6.5 years apart.
that's why I'm like, they're all. But no, everyone else, they're like, are they twins? They're so cute.
I know, your girls are
And
super cute.
then I'm like, I should say yes, but I'm like, no, they're just like a year and a half apart.
Oh, year and a half?
Well, I would say so, year and a half.
Package.
Oh, I'll be right back. I think I need a sign. Do you mind holding it?
You want to just stop it?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just. I'll just like cut it. It's my little accent table for work.
Oh.
It's like a cement color.
Ooh, yeah. But that's so
To have it
cute.
like next to.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm ordering everything because who knows when we gotta go. And
I bet this weekend you guys could go paint
okay,
if you're gonna. Because you're gonna wash.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're gonna lime wash it.
Yeah. I'm excited. And then I'll see how it looks so y'all can do one of the walls.
Just let me know, girl. If I have extra paint, you can use some. But yes. What were we saying? Oh yeah, about the clothes and stuff. Pet peeves. Anyways, any other topics? I know we did have a question last time about hair, and I think we had said it in the past video, but the audio came out. There's no audio.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it does not happen with this one. Then we're gonna have to redo it.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Should we make that our next?
You can say a little bit.
Okay.
And then just move on to other stuff next time.
Okay. So I would say, let me see. I had some questions right here.
Because I did have a question. It was a person was asking, how many times should we wash our hair? And I remember we had said it in the last video, but it didn't pop up.
I mean, honestly, everyone's different.
Everyone's very different.
And then especially like right now with like the whole like weather change, like I know I can go longer in the summer. I know it probably sounds weird, but I can go longer in the summer than I can the winter. Just because in the winter my hair gets like my scalp gets really dry. Yeah. So when that happens, I have to wash it more often just to like kind of like clear up my scalp.
With me, I wash my hair every day. I know I'm not supposed to. You're supposed to wash it like every other day,
washing
right?
it every day is not really bad.
It's just
some people say that it is. I would say it is if your hair is really blonde.
Yes, you shouldn't be doing it if it's like really light.
Yeah.
You should wait at least 3 to 4 days to wash it. But mine does get greasy, so that's why I tend to wash it.
I am not really the type that uses dry shampoo.
I don't like it. It just leaves like all this
Yeah.
residue. Looks like you have like freaking caspa and
Yeah,
everything.
and my scalp is already super sensitive. So I even have to switch my shampoos every so often because then my scalp will start like reacting to that. So then I have to change it.
There's a shampoo. I don't know if you have tried it. It's by Redken. It's the acidic. It's the black one.
Yeah.
That one's really, really good.
It smells so good because every time I use it, I'm like,
feels so
soft.
Good. Yeah. Yes, it's so good.
I would say that's probably good for super damaged hair too.
Yeah, it's good for all types of hair.
Yeah.
Especially for the girls that have curly hair.
Oh yeah.
It really, really moisturizes. It feels like it's like the conditioner is like really thick and rich. And it's just really like
it smells good.
Sometimes when I feel like my ends are super dry, I don't know if you do this, but whenever like I rinse my shampoo, I only do like from here down with the conditioner,
me too.
but I tend to not wash it all the way.
Oh no, I do.
You do?
I do, just because I feel like my hair would feel like, I don't know, like still dirty.
No, well, sometimes like when I feel like it's crunchy and it helps. And I wash it the following day and it's like,
oh yeah, I'll have to try that and see.
I guess it works as a treatment. Oh,
okay. I do like for hair growth too, rosemary oil treatments. Like when I know that it's like the day for me to wash my hair, I'll like put it like in my scalp and then like kind of rub it in and then either do like a slick back like pony or bun or wear a hat, and then so that night I'll wash everything out.
Something's different.
What? My hair?
Yes.
I don't have my extensions in.
No, the color. You did chocolate brown.
Yeah, like I was already like this when I seen you last time.
I could have sworn you did like a copper color.
It was.
See, I knew something was different,
and I don't have.
And I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, "Your makeup looks so good." I'm like trying to see. It does look good though, but your hair looks so cute like short. That.
By the way, I got super bored and I chopped my hair off, and I regret it. So yeah,
don't
the past
do
couple
that.
Videos I've been wearing.
Come to us. Come to us so we can cut it. And if you need extensions, we both do extensions. Yes. But yeah, I think that's the only thing. Just that. Next episode, we'll see what we'll talk about.
So if you have any questions that you want us to answer, leave them in the comments. And we hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Yes. Bye.